All right, today we're going to be discussing in more detail a issue that we've been having with these DEMA 443 solenoid valves. What I've got in my hand is one that's the body and only the body. Everything else has been stripped off of it, was taken apart for cleaning, and using this as a demonstration piece. This valve, when used without any kind of flow restrictor, is been clocked to pass 7.75 gallons of water a minute at a differential pressure of about 60 psi. So in order that it not flood a boiler, because 7 gallons is 8 gallons almost is a fair amount of water to add to a boiler in a minute, they use flow restrictors. And the flow restrictor that they would use would look like this. This is the older type. It's a highly engineered piece of plastic, pink in color, with a small O-ring obscuring most of the holes. See if we can get like so. And it would fit in this 3/8 inch male by female adapter down in there. So it would be inserted into the bottom like that, and there would be a shelf or catch at the bottom to prevent its further progress. The flow, of course, is by that arrow. This is threaded on, and strainer and solenoid and diaphragm and so forth, as we've discussed in other videos, would be added, and this would then be shipped off to Hydrolevel to be installed and assembled in the VXT and mated with the electronics. And this is what it looks like. Let's see if I can get it. Pretty glary. Gosh darn it. There we go. That's a little less glary. And what I've been noticing is that I've been finding that the that little unit has been, that little flow restrictor has been dislodging in some installations. Some of them I've put in, and they'd operate for a year, sometimes only a couple of months, and then I'd get a call back saying that the boiler was flooding. And then I'd have to find out why. And then usually it was that thing was dislodged. So the only way to really fix it is you have to take it apart. You have to cut the line, and I didn't really want to do that unless I had a good idea that it was going to do that. So I developed this, obtained this fiber optic camera. There are little lights in there, and it comes with this little attachment, but I had to grind it down to make it so that it fit in this 6mm hole there. And as you saw that I did on the video the other day, this gets in. Here we are. Let's see if I can show you that. That gets inserted there, and that's what you should see when it's intact. But what I was starting to see, again, I'm getting a glare there. And where's my screwdriver? There we go. I'll use this. what I was starting to see was something like this. The plastic was right there. Sometimes you could actually see the plastic right there when you took this apart, and that way you knew that you had a problem. Lately, they've decided to use this flow disc. It's much simpler, and it is also less likely to calcify up in use. And so they're trying to stay ahead of the curve, as it were, and they're starting to use these engineered holes, and they're basically inserted down into the catch there, and they seat down, and that's what they look like. From this end. And this is what they look like inside. See if I can get a good shot there. Now, naturally, you wouldn't see the hole there, so we can cover the hole. And that's what you see if everything is looking okay. But the other day, what I saw was that. I didn't see that hole. I saw the unit there. You can sort of catch a glimpse of it. Of course, when I take my hand away, you can actually see the it's backlit, which it would not be in the field. So I don't know what's causing that. That's what it looks like from the end there, from this end. You take it apart, and that's what I've been finding. And I don't know what's causing that. A bit disconcerting. Gosh, where's that screwdriver again? Oh, well. This is a restrictor that I removed from one where it had been dislodged. And not only did it dislodge it, but it also blew the O-ring out. The O-ring went completely missing, and I don't know where it wound up. I went ahead and put in the neoprene O-ring, or excuse me, the neoprene restrictor. And the one the other day, what I wound up doing to make sure that this was, or to reduce the likelihood of it getting blown out, I put one of these in, and then I put, since I have there's the part number. There's the part number. I put two of these in and backed them up. Now that restricted the flow a little bit, because the hole now has the hole is the same size, but there's a bit more restriction, and I'm hoping that this is then more difficult to dislodge whatever it is that's causing it to dislodge. The customer the other day, where we found this, who was the one who did the filming, thank you, reported no water hammer, none in his system. So that would be one cause, would be a shock wave blowing it out. So if he's got he has another problem, I'm not sure what to do about it. So this is what we've got, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of this.